Warrior, loner, survivor. A wandering swordsman carves his path through blood, philosophy, and the search for meaning in this iconic manga. What am I talking about? Well, let's find out, shall we? Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review. I'm your host Zen, saying konnichiwa, aloha, bonjour, and what's up? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're excited for another fun-filled podcast that you can find at www.spiraken.com or at youtube.com/@Spiraken. We're also on Bluesky and various other social media sites. Just type in SPIRAKN and guarantee you find us one way or the other. And if you're listening to us on Apple, remember to subscribe, like, and more importantly, rate our message. Now, more importantly than that, if you're watching on YouTube, remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell for notification for when we release new episodes. And with that in mind, let's actually get to it, because if you remember from the last episode, I spun that one that only the Wheel of Manga, dictating to me that you're reviewing a iconic manga that recently got a new adaptation and a new release. And what are we talking about? Well, we're talking about that one that only Vagabond. Yes, the story was written by Takehiko Inoue, the creator of Real and Slam Dunk, and more importantly, this is a adaptation slash inspired by version of famous author Eiji Yoshikawa's novel Musashi. This is the story of Musashi and how he turned from a 17-year-old punk who survived the Battle of Sekigahara to the indomitable, invincible under the seven heavens, the Tenkamusho swordsman that has become a legend in modern history. And the manga starts off very uniquely at the Battle of Sekigahara in the early 1600s. And this is actually following not our main character, but his friend. We're talking about Matahachi Honinden, who is the best friend of Takezo Shinmen, two people from the same village who have decided to join the military. They left their village to become the best they could be, and they survived this horrific battle. And they're both going to work together to kick butt, take names, or that's at least the plan until something changes. Because Matahachi, he says, yeah, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to survive, I'm going to kick butt with my spear. But the minute something bad happens, he is terrified and he runs away. Meanwhile, Takezo, the man that he is, being trained by his father, who is a very famous swordsman, kicks ass and takes names and is doing what he can. Eventually, this story is going to lead to how Takezo becomes that amazing person, Musashi Miyamoto. And usually I go more into the story itself and how the actual elements of this story beats go, but this would be a disservice to sully this story. This is one you have to experience. I mean, this is a story that has over 82 million copies in circulation. It's one of the best-selling mangas of all time. It's won the grand prize of the 6th Tezuka Osamu Cultural Prize back in 2002. It won the 24th Kodansha Manga Award in 2000, and more importantly than that, it is a story which is beloved around the world. And it is amazingly drawn by Takehiko Inoue. The battle sequences are long and dark and amazing. They're inspired, they're detailed, and let's just be honest, this shot is amazing. This image of just him at a waterfall is great. And it is one of the swordsman samurai manga. If there are a couple that you talk about, this is probably tied for first. It's going to be this and Lone Wolf and Cub. I mean, yes, you do have things like Blade of the Immortal. Yes, you have a couple of other samurai series, but this is that one. This is that one that shows it is the samurai series. And let's actually get to this release, because this is what I'm talking about, because this has been released multiple times. First with the original blue cover, then there was the 3-in-1 special edition Viz soft cover, but the newest version we've gotten is the special limited edition Viz signature hardcover. This is a 3-in-1 that is cloth bound, and more importantly than that, something kind of cool, it comes with an obi. What I mean by an obi, in most Japanese tankobons, the manga, besides a dust jacket, has an obi, or a smaller dust jacket that wraps around the bottom. This one has that. where it reveals a beautiful, uh, not even this is stitched. It is a beautiful image of several trees focusing on the bloodline and, more importantly, some referenced in the series about how a tree will grow and will go different ways. This story is one of the greats. It is exceptional, in this version is, I mean, look how big this thing is. The regular original version is a third of the size. The second one is a little bit bigger. This is huge. And the art is beautiful. And that flip, hear that, right? That flip, just for flipping a page, it is fresh and new books. It is heavy as anything, don't get me wrong. But this manga is a collector's piece. This is one that you want to keep. In the same vein as the Berserk hardcovers, the Trigun hardcovers, the Blade of the Immortal hardcovers, this is one of the superior ones just because of the obi. But more importantly, the story is what makes this what it is. Because without that, this would just be a really nice hardcover that you have on your coffee table. But this is a story that is worth reading. If you've never read this before, this is the version you get. Because besides the fact that you get the amazing color panels, which each color image looks spectacular. Besides that, and besides the ribbon bookmark, you get a couple of notes in the back, which I believe are in the 3-in-1 signature version as well. Because you get the interview from 2007 when Inoue visited the Kodansha in New York, which that is a really cool interview. And you get some character sketches. But the thing which made it interesting is there's a glossary that has some interesting elements about explaining some of the characters like Akede, Teramasu, the explanation of the Battle of Sekigahara. You get some of the other characters, explanation about who the Yagyu clan is, and then an interesting comment from the author, which at this point is very relevant. If you watch the channel, you may see a video coming up where I quote this, but this is kind of an important thing about Volume 1. I'm going to read it. Feeling the bitter disappointment of defeat is the only way you can shed tears of joy for a victory. In a similar vein, perhaps you can only really know what life is all about if you've had a near-death experience. Happiness is being able to be grateful for whatever it is you have at the moment. It sounds simple, but it's very difficult. And at the same time, it may seem complex, but it's really very simple. It's an interesting explanation for Takezu Shinmen's journey, because he wants to find happiness in being the invincible under the heaven, to be the strongest man there is, in his journey to become the swordsman. I love the fact that he is someone who uses, for the first part of the book, he's not using a sword, he is using a bokken, he's using a stick, and he is kicking ass. And this is that story. So, talked about the characters, I've talked about the amazing art style, which is also one of the great elements of this, because this is, they don't make it like this anymore. Just let's say that. Computer generated is one thing, this is important. This is Berserk level detail and that level of commitment to making this manga. The bad thing, though, is that this manga has been on hiatus since 2015. It's been 10 years been on hiatus. Why? Well, reasons. But it's left off at an amazing point, and it is one of those ones where you want to pick up and want to purchase. And honestly, that is one of those ones where you really want to just discuss the situation. You know what I mean? But I digress. I think we should get to it, because I think it's time for, well, let's be honest, that thing which we're talking about, which is the rating of the episode, because there's a lot of choices for this, what it could be. I mean, it could be the best, it could be the worst. Is it okay? Is it amazing? Is it spectacular? Well, let's be honest. I'm going to have to give this really, really, really cool. Read it now. This is exceptional. This is one of the benchmarks mangas. It is an amazing historical fiction that has extremely detailed artwork. It is a compelling story, and it is one which will keep you hooked onto this at the seat of your pants while you're reading this. Yes, there is violence in this. Yes, there is blood in this. Yes, there is SA in this. But it fits in this narrative, and more importantly, Musashi is a character you want to root for. And this is an adventure story that will keep you compelled to read it. Now, if you've never read this, or you disagree with me, You can email me personally at Xan, that's Xan at Spiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken, and let me know your thoughts on if you like this or not. More importantly, let me know what your feelings on the situation were, if this was that one which was so compelling, so interesting, so, well, is what it is. And usually I would have a random question of the week, but this week, it's fucking Vagabond. Let's be honest. I'm not going to give you a question of the week for this one, except that how awesome is Musashi, or when was the first time you heard about Musashi? When was it? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts on that. But regardless, let's get to the other part that we're waiting for, and we're talking about the manga release of the week, and we've got some fun ones. So let's get to it. So this week for manga releases, we've got 2.5 Dimensional Seduction. This is by Yu Hashimoto. This is volume 13. Then we've got Boruto 2 Vortex, volume 1. Candy and Cigarettes, volume 11. Colette Decides to Die, volume 2. A Condition Called Love, volume 11. There's a lot of volume 11s this week. Daily Report About My Witch Senpai, and this is going to be volume 7, if I remember correctly. No, sorry, volume 4. Don to Don, volume 11. Delinquent Teacher and Tender Daddy, volume 6. Easygoing Territory Defense, volume 4. This is the light novel, not the manga. The Elusive Samurai, volume 14. The Eminence in Shadow, novel number 6. Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, volume 5. Hatsue Note, volume 2. Heroine Saint Noam and All Works Made and Proud of It, volume 2. I Married My Female Friend, volume 4. I Ship My Rival and Me, manga 2. In the Name of the Mermaid Princess, volume 5. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Shining Diamond Demonic Heartbreak, volume 2. Kagurabashi, volume 2. Kaiju number 8, volume 12. The Mimosa Confession. This is the alternate take of it. My Dear Detective, volume 2. My Gently Raised Beast, volume 9. Now That We Draw, this is volume 1. Outbridge, Beauty and the Beasts, light novel number 7. Pet Shop of Horrors, Collection Edition 1. This is the first time this has been released since Tokyopop had the license, so I'm actually excited about this. Pink Habanero, volume 2. Prince Freya, volume 11. Queen's Quality, volume 21. Rainbow Days, volume 14. I believe this is the last volume of the series. Reborn as a Space Mercenary. I woke up piloting the strongest spaceship, the light novel, volume 11. Everyone knows my feelings on this series, but apparently it is getting an adaptation, so yeah, that's happening. But still, again, another number 11. Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling, novel number 9. Remnants of Filth, volume 6. See in My 19th Life, volume 5. 7 Deadly Sins, The 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, volume 15. A Tale of the Secret State, manga number 8. Throw Away the Suits Together, volume 3. The Two Perfect Saint, volume 1, and this is the novel. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun, volume 12. World Trigger, volume 27. Yona of the Dawn, volume 43. And last and certainly not least, we have You and I Are Polar Opposites, volume 4. So these are the manga releases for the week. Which one were you most excited about? Was there one you were really excited about? Or which ones do you not want to read all? Let me know. Email me, xan@spiraken.com, or tweet me at Spiraken. More importantly than that, here are my 5 for the week. We're talking about Don to Don, volume 11. This is when we get introduced to Godzilla Girl. SSB Shoujo's Bizarre Adventure, Shining Diamond, volume 2, because this is the story of how Jotaro gets a girlfriend. Now That We Draw is a story about 2 people getting in a relationship because they draw doujinshi. Kind of cool. Pet Shop of Horrors is a classic. I think we talked about this a long time ago. I might do another review of this. We'll see. And The Two Perfect Saint, this light novel seems pretty intriguing. But personally, let me know what your thoughts are. Which one did you like? Which one did you not like? Let me know. And now, before we go any further, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for checking out this podcast. Every email I get, every comment I get, every new subscriber gives me a moment of motivation to keep doing this podcast. I love doing this. I love being a place where we can be safe, and you can take your mind off the worries in the world. So thank you so much for letting me provide that for you. I want to keep doing this till I'm an old man who has to read manga with thick glasses and a magnifying glass. And I'm going to keep doing the best I can with this. And more importantly than that, if you have not heard or checked out our GoFundMe at gofundme.com/@Spiraken or tinyurl.com/Spiraken. We currently have a GoFundMe going on right now where we are trying to earn some money so I can afford to fix our laptop, which has died, so I can go to more events. I know things are kind of crazy right now, but I still want to hopefully go to a couple of events and actually talk. And if you want to know more about that, definitely go to tinyurl.com/Spiraken, or you can scan the QR code, which is on the screen right now, and let me know what, and just do what you can. We have currently a couple of anonymous donators, and still Alexander, thank you for being our producer for the last couple of weeks. He has talked to me about what he wants to do for his reward, which is going to be kind of cool. We're going to be reviewing a very cool manga and or movie really soon. More importantly than that, I'm going to be doing some other things as well, including a couple of fun new reviews and something else that is in the pipework. Stay tuned for that. It's going to take your mind off of a lot of stuff, hopefully. But I digress. Is there anything else I need to talk about before we get to that part you've all been waiting for? Yes. We have one more week before we're going to be doing our next book review, which is going to be Apothecary Diaries. Definitely check that out. It's going to be a live stream that's going to be on officially the Spiraken YouTube channel on the, I believe it's the 28th. Let me check just to make sure. Let me look at my notes. It's going to be the 23rd. At 2 o'clock on www.youtube.com/@Spiraken. I'm going to be doing a live stream where we're going to talk about this. If you want to find out what the questions are, check our notes below or check our Bluesky account at spiraken.bluesky.social. And with that in mind, let's get to the part that you've all been waiting for, the most popular part of this podcast. And what are we talking about? We're talking about that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga! Yes, friends, a Wheel of Manga, except no substitute. Now, what is the Wheel of Manga? The Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the wheel. Whatever number it lands on, the manga that's in that spot is what I'm going to review in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 578. Can you believe it? 578 episodes. Hopefully we can make it to 600 at least. So let's spin and see what we're going to review, shall we? Number 2. So we are going to be reviewing Tomorrow's Joe. Yes, the recent special edition release of Ashido no Joe. What is this about? This is the manga series. This is the one that made Hajime no Ippo and so many other boxing manga possible. If you've watched Megalobox, that's what this is based off of. Or actually, this is what that's based off of. So, or other way around. You know what I mean. But regardless, hope you enjoyed this episode. As usual, I am your host, Zan. I am Gonzbill. Catch you guys next time. And as always, keep reading manga. See you later.